Hey guys, it's Silver Snorlax, and I am back with part 2 of round 30. So we've got 3 more users to run through here, a couple of big stacks of cards. We've got 2 new guys that submitted with me, as well as a returning favorite here. We'll start with the stack, actually. These are from Lindsy M, who sent a pretty decent mix of cards, I thought. So we're seeing some more from her again. We'll start it off with Mint 9 Primal Kyogre. And then she sent some base set 2 stuff here. This is Poliwrath at 9, as well as Zapdos. Some of the older sets. Dark Raichu. Came back as near mint 8. That's the Unlimited. City Championships Charmander. 8.5. As well as an 8.5 Mew Black Star promo. Holographic. Blaziken level 56 from Great Encounters. Came back as mint 9. Full Art Kangaskhan. It's a 9. Pokemon Center Lady Full Art. Mega Charizard EX. Another 8.5 here. This is a Flashfire Charizard EX. Our first 10 of the batch. This is from Phantom Forces. This is Mega Manectric. Battle Reporter came back as 8.5. I'm actually not sure as far as to why the 8.5. It's odd to see so many 8.5 grades. Might have some centering issues. That might be my guess. Some corners. Okay, some corners here as well, but still not enough for an 8.5. Unless they're factoring in centering, which they probably are, but odd to see so many 8.5s. They're actually very difficult to get from PSA. Furious Fist Karina. It's a full art. Latios EX at 9. And then we have the Roaring Skies Mega Latios. Full art EX. Mega Latios EX at 9. Latios, Mega Latios, the half art version. Here we have our Japanese Bandit Ring Mint 9 Tyranitar. Another Bandit Ring Full Art Primal Kyogre. Excuse me, Kyogre, Groudon. I do in fact know the difference, believe it or not. Giratina at 9 full art. That's actually a very cool card. I like how Giratina looks in that one. Ho-Oh EX. Rayquaza EX, mint 9. Primal Groudon. There we go. Primal Groudon EX. Camerupt EX, mint 9 full art. Just throwing it out there, a lot of the full arts are absolutely stunning once they're graded and encapsulated. I think they make for really great pieces to a collection. Mint 9 Flashfire Charizard, as well as Charizard EX. And finish it off as another 8.5 Boundaries Crossed Full Art Keldeo. Alrighty, so that'll do it for Lindsay there. Move her off to the side. Next guy coming up, this is from Canley. He actually had some really interesting kind of error cards that came through. Actually, I thought his stuff was pretty cool, so we'll be running through that. They did in fact run a no grade on one of his cards. I just wanted to show this because I thought this was so cool. This is a, I believe, yeah, factory misprint is what PSA referred to it as, but this is just a Gyarados from base set. You can see just how it's cut incorrectly. The next card above it on the sheet actually came down onto this card, so this one got cut off a little bit at the bottom, but that's a really kind of cool thing. Bit of a bummer they didn't grade it. He did have some errors in his send-off. We'll be kind of covering those a little bit. So a little bit odd they didn't grade that one, I thought, but I wasn't. I'm not quite sure what the guidelines are for factory-based misprints that PSA will and won't grade. So a little hit and miss, but interesting nonetheless. So here we go. We have Rhydon from Skyridge, came back as a Gentleman 10. Miracle Crystal Gold Star. SKYPE Mint 9. This is the No Stage Blastoise Mint 9. You can see there in the upper right hand corner. It says put Blastoise on the and then there's just kind of a blank spot. Looks like maybe a little ink spot kind of deal on the one card. It even says so on the label, the quote unquote stage error. So that's a very cool card. I don't see that too often. Aerodactyl, first edition from Fossil. Mint 9 Ditto, also from Fossil. Gem Mint 10 version as well. I always thought Ditto looked really cool in the Fossil set, how they illustrated him. I know I mentioned this in the last part. One of my favorite cards from the Fossil set was Dragonite, due to that fantastic holographic background. So we got a couple of those in a Mint 9. We've got Gengar here, Mint 9. Some first edition Mint 9 action. A couple of those. First edition Haunter. He just blends in with his background so well. He almost does kind of like, you have to kind of catch him a little bit in the light just right. He really does kind of bring to light what you expect from a ghost Pokemon. So that's really cool. Moving on with our Fossil set here, we've got Hypno. And we're moving into, I believe this is Gym Challenge. Here's a first edition Blaine that came back as a Gem Mint 10 for him. Let's see, this is a Kabutops, first edition Kabutops. Came back as a Mint 9. I'm actually surprised it came back as a Mint 9. I did a little bit of appraisal work for him prior to send-off, and Kabutops came back high for him, so hey, awesome stuff there. Celebi, Gem Mint 10. Skyridge. Here's another one of the error cards I had referred to. This is a Hitmonlee. You can see it has like just this giant smudge right there in the middle of it. It's actually rather cool that not only the PSA graded, but just to see something like that. It's not too common. So very, very cool little bit there from Hitmonlee. Charizard, your Mint 8 Charizard. Just your standard unlimited Charizard. Had a couple of those submitted. Here's another 8. And a 9. Here we've got a Shining Gyarados, an unlimited Shining Gyarados, Mint 9 from Neo Revelation. We've got Shining Steelix, came back as a Gem Mint 10 from Neo 4, the Japanese Neo 4. Just your standard first edition Blastoise, not the No Stage Error. This one came back as a Mint 9, so that's a card definitely with some money behind it for sure. Very cool card. First edition Beedrill base set. I actually own one in my own base set collection. It's an awesome card. Pidgeotto Mint 9. Yeah, Mint 9 Arcanine, which if I remember right is actually a card I'm looking for my own collection in a Gem Mint 10. I have not been fortunate enough to find it yet. Charmeleon came back as a Mint 9 as well. Ivysaur, Mint 9. These are actually fairly hard to come by. The Ivysaur, the Bulbasaur is really difficult to come by, but the Ivysaur is somewhat difficult to come by. And War Turtle, for those of you who collect the base set, especially first edition base set, is almost impossible to come by because they did a short printing run on War Turtle. So these are very, very difficult to come by. But regardless, that's a cool first edition card. Happy it came back fairly high. It came back as a 9. Charmander, Gem Mint 10. These sell pretty quickly. I've noticed a lot on eBay will fly once they're posted. First edition Squirtle, Mint 9 as well. Here we have a Yellow Cheeks Pikachu. That's a Gem Mint 10. So not the red cheeks. The yellow cheeks I think is a little more common. I actually own both the red and the yellow. So those are little more difficult to come. The red cheeks are a little more difficult to come by versus the yellow. And then this last one here, I'm actually going to cover up the grade as well as the serial number here. I'm going to go ahead and show you this Kangaskhan where the holofoil was misprinted on the card, so it's actually very difficult to determine what happened during the printing process. But essentially, it just looks like it got misaligned and it's off-centered essentially. So I know Jay Canley asked me to actually get this one authenticated, and no joke, I wrote like 10 notes on the package, the order forms, everything else, and they didn't authenticate it. They actually graded it. So I'm just going to leave this covered for now. Out of respect for him, so we'll try and get something figured out with this card. We'll see if they can just do an authentication on it at some point. But I did want to show you. I thought that was kind of a cool error. He did have some very cool errors in his send-off, and it's not something we typically see on this channel, at least not too frequently. So we're going to go ahead and hurry up with this last stack here. These are from Jam Own It. First card he had was actually a card they didn't grade, something cool I had not seen before. Just a little sketch card. It's a leaf trading card. One of a kind hand-drawn autograph sketch card from the following artist and project. I'll give you a little rundown there. Feel free to pause the camera and take a look at it. But for whatever reason, PSA took it out and would not grade it. I'm not sure as far as to why. Just said return, no grade, no holder. It's the most common error message I see, so just be very careful to put it back in the sleeve there. I did want to show you that's something we don't typically see on this channel, so that's kind of cool. And then we'll move on. Lots of these thicker print cards. Let's see, patches and autos are typically housed in cases like this. You'll actually notice these are a little bit thicker than your standard PSA case. If I do a little quick side by side, it doesn't look it from the side, but they actually have. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, this is the correct size. It's the one right below that is not. So there we go. Now you can see it. So like I was saying, patches and autos, this is a patch card. It does in fact run with a thicker slab versus PSA's traditional slab. So I'll show you both side by side. There's the patch card here. Panini Spectra. Neon blue. Fantastic sparkle to it. I like it. So there we go. I believe we have a Texans fan, maybe. Tennessee Titans. I know I've got an uncle who lives down in Tennessee. He's all about Titans. Gem at 10. Right there. We got another one. I love how this card is actually cut. You can notice it's reminiscent of Pokemon Tops 2, I believe, is when they started to input kind of puzzle cards and stuff. So it reminds me a little bit of that. So that's kind of a cool thing. Another patch here. Marcus Mariota. So a couple of those cards from him. We got another one. I should have said Titans or Tennessee Titans fan. Patch auto. Very cool. Team Trios. Just a tremendous amount of color and gloss in that card. Then some other cards I know in send-off. Be careful there. Some of these cards in send-off. I made a joke about these. I was surprised they actually graded this. Anthony Daniels error card, and I hope you guys can figure out why that might be an error card. I won't go into detail too much about it, but it looks a little suggestive. Little Shaq and the Magic, 92 draft pick, tops. It's kind of cool. Something different. Like getting some older stuff, of course. Team Quads, again, Tennessee Titans. Yeah, we're going to go with Tennessee Titans fan. So some cool stuff there. And then finally, here's something kind of interesting. Radio City Music Hall War Room tickets. What is this actually? It's a War Room Draft Day tickets autograph. So that's pretty cool. I didn't know they even had stuff like that. Of course, I'm not really in the sports card world, so it's interesting to get little bits and pieces that I'm submitted through this channel. Just, you know, what kind of stuff do they have kind of deal. So cool stuff, awesome stuff. Good to see the variety, of course. One last part for round 30 coming up. It's just one submission. It's over 60 cards, I want to say. And we'll be doing that dead last here. So thanks a lot for watching again, guys. Again, those of you interested in grading, information is there in the description box. Feel free to reach out to me, as always. Comments, questions, concerns regarding PSA send-off, appraisal work. I do a little bit of everything. Feel free to contact me. Facebook, Skype, right here on YouTube, best ways to get a hold of me. So, all right, guys, that'll be it for part 2. Coming up will be part 3. Thanks for watching.